I want to give you guys a story as to why I'm not a big fan of this strange rise in female dating coaches that I've seen on YouTube. This story goes back about a year ago, a little over a year ago at this point. I had met a really sweet, really down-to-earth, seemingly cool girl off of a dating app. I know a lot of you don't like dating apps, but I'm one of the lucky ones that have had pretty good luck with dating apps, so I've used them. Calm down. Just right along with the story here. I started talking to this girl on a dating app. And like I said, seemingly really cool. Lots of green flags. Pretty sweet. Pretty down to earth. She was a woman of her word in the short period of time that I associated with her. We went on a first date. And it went really well. Good conversation. She seemed a little bit nervous. She told me that she hasn't dated that much. Again, I know you guys might roast her for that, but let's assume she was being honest. I didn't see any crazy red flags, so at this point, I can assume she was being honest. She seemed a little bit awkward, a little bit shy, but she was a very sweet girl. Wasn't that experienced with dating, as she said. The date went well. We talked again for a couple days. Off and on. I was busy that week, so I didn't have that much time to talk, but when I told her I would get back to her, I did, just to be respectful. Out of nowhere, when I messaged her to make plans again, she fell off the face of the earth. I never heard from her again. And I'm somebody that's really big on like not double texting and stuff. Not so much from like some manipulative egomaniac standpoint. I just don't like the feeling of somebody not reciprocating interest in me, whether it's like a guy friend or a relationship possibility. So if I message somebody, I just wait to hear back. And if I don't hear back, well, then that's kind of a slap in the face or what have you. So I just don't really pursue. Not saying I never would, but I just tend to not pursue. Everything was great with this girl, but after I'd messaged her that time, she just never replied. And I never said another word to her. Whether you agree with that or not, it's not really the video for that. That's just the way I rolled at this time. I never said a word to her again. Never heard from her again, which I thought was weird, but I just kept on trucking. On to the next one. I saw this girl pop up again just recently on a dating app. I hadn't been logged on there in forever. And I logged on and I was looking at my likes, or people that liked me, and I recognized this girl. I'm like, oh shit, that's so-and-so. So I matched with her. And it was Bumble. So she had to message me first. And she messages me, she goes, hey, stranger. And I asked her, I go, hey, after a little bit of small talk, I'm like, hey, what happened? Like, you fell off the face of the earth. She went on to tell me that she was nervous and she hired a female dating coach off of YouTube. I'm not going to say who the woman is because when she told me, I know who the woman is. I don't know her that well, but I've seen her videos. I didn't recognize the name so much, but when I looked it up on YouTube, I was like, oh, I've seen this woman before. And we went back and forth. I kind of was like teasing her about it and asking like, what did this woman say and this and that. What she told me this female dating coach told her was the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And it's not the first time I've heard this. I've heard Corey Wayne, shout out to Corey Wayne, great channel, Coach Corey Wayne. I've heard him talk about this in the past. So I already was wise to the stuff that I had learned from him that these female dating coaches are doing. And it's exactly what she told me. She said this female dating coach basically was telling her when she brought me up, make this guy work for you more. Don't text him. Disappear. If he doesn't text you again, don't reply to him. There was more than that, but she basically essentially was telling this girl to act like a man. The stoicism and the rigidity, everything she said to me was like not feminine at all, not sweet at all, not natural at all for a woman that's trying to openly and honestly communicate with a potential romantic partner that's reciprocating that. Our conversations weren't at all toxic. They were not at all one-sided or manipulative. very good, open, clean, receptive conversation. And this stupid ass female dating coach told her to ignore me. In fact, she told me when I double texted her, she needed to wait again and let me message for a third time to work for her, because it builds anxiety in me and it caused me to want her more and look up to her and respect her more. I'm sorry if this offends feminists. That polarity is backwards. That's not how this works. Whether women like to admit this or not, the woman has to look up to the man, in a sense, at least in a sense. The polarity has to be the opposite. What this female dating coach essentially is teaching, the way I read it, she's trying to get women to build an army of simps, or to get a guy to simp for her. This female dating coach is trying to teach this girl to be the masculine one in the relationship. Train the man to simp for her. Train the man to be submissive and get left on red and ignored, to where he has to keep simping without that being reciprocated, without the love or the affection or the attention or the communication being reciprocated. It's very toxic and it's ignorant. And if it's as rampant as this girl told me that it is, because supposedly this woman had massive clients, so she says, it's no wonder why the dating market is such a joke today. There's a lot of women being led astray by these stupid ass TikTok videos and these stupid ass women on YouTube that don't know shit. They quite frankly don't know anything about relationships if they're teaching this kind of bullshit, this kind of nonsense. Because the only men that's going to work on are the desperate men that have no self-respect and have no other options. A man that's self-respecting, that has options, it's not going to, you don't put up with that. It doesn't feel right. It does not feel right as a man. You don't put up with that level of disrespect, or that level of lack of interest, if you will. And again, I'm not saying I'm Chad Hunkingsworth over here, because I'm not. But I have a fair amount of options on the dating apps. You know, when I was using Bumble at that time, I had a fair amount of options. I didn't need to put all my eggs in one basket. It was just on to the next for me. I'd message back the other girls that are messaging me. And this girl went on to tell me how she was really bummed out that I didn't message her again. And I was straight up with her. Like, we're talking right now. I told her straight up, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. There was no reason to act that way. Our communication was open. We had good, in-depth conversations about philosophy and romance and dating and polarity. We had very good conversations. The chemistry was seeming very well. And this dumbass female dating coach really messed it up for her. The worst advice I could ever imagine. I don't know who in the hell is teaching these women that's a good idea. Are these women just watching the Corey Waynes or the whoever else is, the male dating coaches, or the men's self-improvement, and just stealing the work and just labeling it for women? Is that what they're doing? Are they straight up stealing the teachings to young men and labeling it for women as if that's going to work? You don't know anything if you're telling that to women. If you're a female dating coach and you're trying to teach the same shit that Coach Corey Wayne or whoever, any of these guys teach, you are a moron. You don't know anything about human nature. You don't know anything about dating or the polarity between men and women. You know nothing. You have no business teaching anything. You're a grifter. You need to be shunned from this space. You're not helping anybody. You're teaching toxicity. You're teaching manipulation. Not that men don't do that too, because I see that too, but that's not the point of the video. What that woman is doing is trying to make this young woman or young women act like the man in the relationship. You're not, ladies, to the 10% of my audience that are females, you are not going to gain interest in self-respecting men that have options if you act that way. It's a slap in the face. The men that don't have to put up with that will not put up with that. Do you understand what I'm saying? The men that have other options, They don't want a headache. They want easygoing, fun to be around, lighthearted and sweet and honest and transparent. They don't want the bullshit. They don't want the toxicity and the manipulation and the drama and the backstabbing and the say one thing and do another. They don't want that. If you have a dating coach that's teaching you to be like that, fire her immediately. She's a moron. No wonder you're just attracting the lowest of the low. The sick, angry men that don't have any options, that will simp for you. I can't believe these female dating coaches are even a thing. If I'm being quite honest, I can't believe they're even a thing. Because the shit they teach is so back-ass words that everyone should be able to see through it. I set this girl pretty well straight. We've had some good conversations about this stuff. And yeah, we're talking now. We'll see if it goes anywhere. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Who knows? But I couldn't believe when she told me that. I can't believe women are actually teaching this shit. So to the women that are watching this, the 10% that are, please don't act like a man. Do not act like a man thinking that it's going to attract these self-respecting men. They're not going to want to put up with your toxic bullshit. That's not human nature. That's not natural. It's just not how it works. Till next time, God bless.